In the month of May in 2019, we decided to explore some parts of our beautiful North Bengal. Hence, we packed our bags and set off on a journey. After an overnight bus journey of around 12 hours from Durgapur, we reached Siliguri at around 7 am. After having some tea at the bus stop, we hired a Tata Sumo and started our journey towards Mirik. We paid around Rs 2,500 for this trip. Mirik is approximately 46 kilometers from Siliguri. The scene started changing rapidly. The hustle and bustle of Siliguri slowly disappeared and changed into an ever-increasing greenery. We were greeted by dense forests and tea gardens on both the sides of the roads, and the scenes were mesmerizing. After a journey of around 2 hours, we reached Mirik. Mirik is a small hill station located in the Darjeeling district of West Bengal. We had already booked a hotel named Hotel Blue Lagoon from the booking.com prior to our arrival. The hotel was located right beside the Mirik Lake. After taking some rest and having some lunch, we again set off to explore Mirik. Again, the journey across the pure bliss of green began, and our first destination was the Gopaldhara Tea Estates. This was my first visit to a tea estate. I was overwhelmed by the beauty of the rolling green tea plantations. While we stood there trying to capture the beauty with our cameras, soft gusts of wind continued to blow the white mists across our faces. I feel the visit to a tea garden without having a cup of tea remains incomplete. The experience of sipping hot tea while gazing at the endless green slopes was very heartwarming. Our next destination was the Pashupati Nagar market, which is located in the India-Nepal border. Here Indians can cross the border by showing their voter ID card. So if you are planning to visit Mirik, do not forget to carry your voter ID cards. The Pashupati Nagar market was lined with shops on both the sides, selling from momos to vegetables, from clothes to electronics to cosmetics and everything else. I bought a pair of keyring dolls. In the Pashupati Nagar market, there is a temple dedicated to Lord Pashupatinath or Shiva. The temple houses a four-faced Shiva Linga. Our third destination for the day was the Bokar Monastery. Bokar Monastery was founded by Kyabje Bokar Rinpoche in 1984. It is a center of education for monks. Nearly 500 monks live here who are devoted to studying and propagating the teachings of Sakyamuni Buddha. This is a beautiful place which transports one to a land of peace and serenity. On the way back to our hotel on that day, we asked the driver to stop at some random place. I just wanted to breathe in the beautiful nature. The greenery, the fog, the beautiful flowers blooming everywhere were too beautiful to express. On day 2, early in the morning, we decided to take a walk around the lake and explore a bit. Just across the lake, we saw a huge statue of a man with bow and arrow. Having no idea about whose statue it was, I asked the first local I met. He was on his way to work and shouted back, "ये राय भगवान का मंदिर है." This aroused curiosity and I searched in the internet to know more about Rai Bhagwan, and this is what I found. The statue was of Yalambar, the king of Kirati community. He established the Kirata kingdom in Kathmandu Valley. The Kirat community also finds mention in the epic Mahabharata. He is also known as Barbaric. Yalambar was the son of Ghatotkacha and Morvi and the grandson of Bhim and Hirimba. Yalambar went to witness the battle of Kurukshetra with a view to take side of the losing party. Yalambar was very powerful and his intention would have made him switch sides, which would have eventually destroyed everyone except him. Krishna asked for his head in charity as a sacrifice to worship the battlefield before the war, and his head was placed on top of a hill from where he watched the battle. He is known as Khatu Shyamji in Rajasthan and Baliya Dev in Gujarat. The setting of the Sumendu lake is serene, with forests framing the lake on one side. We took a walk along the side of the lake and went to visit the Devi Sthan. On the way, we saw local people going on about their daily lives. It was so beautiful to imagine a life in such serene location with green forests everywhere and wildflowers blooming that I decided that someday I would come and have a home here. Two dogs, one white and one black, accompanied us all the way up to the Devi Sthan. The black one was especially a more responsible guide and never left us alone. This reminded me of the story of how a black dog accompanied the Pandavas on their way to heaven. This looked so similar. The numerous steps through the serene greenery took us to the Devi Sthan. The location of the temple was so calming, built under the canopies of huge trees decorated by colorful prayer flags. This temple transported us to an entire different land of devotion. Apart from the temple of goddess Durga, this temple also housed many smaller temples of other gods and goddesses which had to be reached by steps. Mirik is also a treasure trove of wild flowers. There were so many uncountable varieties of flowers of different shapes, shades and sizes. After visiting Devi Sthan, we headed back to our hotel, picked up our bags, and our next destination was Sitong village. I would cover Sitong village in my next video. If you liked my video, please like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Take care.